Wilbur Wright once noted that the only bird that could talk was the parrot, and he didn't fly very well. So I'll be brief.
Apollo 11 crew, astronauts Neil Armstrong, Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin. Neil?
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure. It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade. We all here and the people listening in today had the opportunity to share that adventure over its developing and unfolding in the past months and years. It's our privilege today to share with you some of the details of that final month of July that was certainly the highlight for the three of us of that decade. We're going to divert a little bit from the format of past press conferences and talk about the things that interested us most, in particular the things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use a number of films and slides which most of you have already seen, and with the intent of pointing out some of the things that we observed on the spot, which may not be obvious to those of you who are looking at them here from the surface of Earth. The flight, as you know, started promptly. And I think that was characteristic of all the events of the flight. The Saturn gave us one magnificent ride, both into Earth orbit and on a trajectory to the moon. Our memory of that actually differs little from the reports that you have all heard from those previous Saturn V flights, and the previous flights served us well in preparation for this flight in the boost as well as the subsequent phases. We would like to skip directly to the translunar coast phase.
Question, to which Neil Armstrong responded with an absence of memory.
When you looked up at the sky, could you actually see the stars and the solar corona in spite of the glare?
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
Years later, though, Michael Collins would remember.
Wilbur Wright once noted that the only bird that could talk was the parrot, and he didn't fly very well. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of truth's protective layers.
Very good, Jack. Excellent.
Right. Check the gate, Doug. Well, many parts of that were good. There were quite a few hiccups, but many parts of it were very good.
I want to play back, please.
Did you have make the private journey to St Albans to meet and talk to him?
I had to do this.
Yes.
I wanted to do it.
What was your first impression of him?
I didn't care what was the reason for it.
When you met him?
I wanted to do it.
I remember thinking...
I needed to do it. But it was like getting the
I remember thinking...
the life, the...
Well, he's sort of scruffy.
That's good enough. Fair enough. So...
on the conversations, everybody, just mouth them. Don't speak, and don't...
Joe, please.
Don't nod your heads when you're talking. Just talk naturally to each other.
There's that pressure on almost every movie set, and it's here as well. It's just Stanley doesn't relate to it because he is doing exactly what he thinks he should be doing at that moment about it, you know, sort of very single-mindedly. He's emotional on the set.
There's no desperation. Oh, come on. What do you mean roll video?
Seconds.
We're f***ing killing ourselves out here, and you've got to be ready.
I am too. I'm standing
Should we
right
play
by
mood
the
music?
door. No, I can't.
Yeah, but when you came in like this, you said just...
We're sitting there because they say, wait a minute,
okay.
and then you say on the radio,
But when you
go.
do it, you've got to look desperate, Shelley. You're just wasting everybody's time.
If it hadn't been for that, you know, volley of ideas and sometimes butting of heads together, it wouldn't have come out as good as it did. And it also helps get the emotion up and the concentration up, because it builds up anger, actually, and you get more out of yourself. And he knew that, and he knew he was getting more out of me by doing that. So it was sort of like a game.